So one who properly understand this relationship, so this the expectation is part is there. So what is the role of this expectation? Why, I mean, they have to at least, if he is responding properly, then their expectation that also the other one also behave properly. So this, even that we have understand it, then our expectation is there or not? That values.
Right. Yeah, this is a very interesting question. Let me repeat this question first and then respond. His question is that if a person is realized, okay, then he is able to see his relationship with everyone, right. So, as we were saying, he will start with this feeling of love, love for everyone, right. In that case, will there be expectation from the other, right. And the underlying issue there also is that if he has that expectation from the other, right, the other may or may not be able to fulfill that expectation because he may not have that realization, and therefore it might lead to unhappiness to the person who has realized, right. That is the underlying kind of question. So, let me respond to that. So, if you have a person who has realized, that is, who has understood the coexistence, right, existence as coexistence, who has seen the harmony in nature, who has seen that every unit is related to every other unit in a mutually fulfilling manner. Therefore, he is able to see that he is also related to every unit in nature, in existence, in a mutually fulfilling manner. When he is able to see this, all this, he has this feeling of being related to all, right. That is the feeling of love. Now, if he has that feeling of love, what will he do? He will share with others, he will do to fulfill that relationship with everyone around. So, we said he will have feeling for all, but he will express this feeling and fulfill these feelings with those who are around him, who come in contact, right, in the family, in the friends, in and around. So, he will do that, he will do this out of compassion. Compassion means unconditional acceptance of the other and providing him whatever is necessary for him, okay. That is the meaning of compassion, without asking for any qualification on part of the other, right. I am trying to fulfill my responsibility towards the other person, that is the meaning of compassion. So, that is what he will do. Now, what about the expectation from the other? Of course, he will have the expectation from the other in the sense that he would expect that everybody understands all this, understands the relationship, everybody has this feeling and is able to live with these feelings in relationship with each other and with him also, right. So, that expectation will be there, right. This expectation that other person also understands the relationship, has the feelings in relationship, is able to share this feeling with everyone else including myself, right. That expectation will be there, right. But then there is a difference. What is the difference? This person will have the expectation from the other, but he will also understand that these expectations can be fulfilled only when the other person has the competence and not otherwise, right. So, if he has that clarity, he will not insist that this expectation be fulfilled. So, when he is not insisting on this, right, it does not become a cause of unhappiness if the other person is not able to fulfill those expectations, right. So, two things. Number one, out of my understanding I am in a state of happiness, out of my feelings born out of understanding I am in a state of happiness. So, my happiness does not depend upon the response or reaction of the other, it depends on right understanding in myself and right feeling in myself. So, that is number one, that my happiness and that is what we have been saying every time, that the happiness in the self is ensured by right understanding and right feeling. So, it does not right understanding and right feeling in the self of the individual, it does not depend upon the response or reaction from the outside. So, that is one thing, that if some person is realized, some person has understood and has the feeling, he will be in a state of happiness irregardless of the response or reaction of the other person. Second, in terms of expectation, yes, he will have expectation that everyone understands the relationship, has the feeling and express those feelings, but he will not insist on it in the sense that he would understand that other person can fulfill this expectation only when he has the competence, and that he may or may not have the competence, right. Therefore, if he is not responding, right, in expected, with expected feelings, he will not feel hurt about it, right. So, it will not be a cause of unhappiness. Not only that, he will feel responsible to help this person, this relative, to help have that understanding in him, have those feelings in him, right. So, not only that he will not be hurt by it, he will not react, but he will respond in terms of first ensuring the right feeling with him in relationship, then helping him to understand the feelings and have the feelings and share these feelings, right. So, develop that competence in the other person. So, that is what will happen. Yeah. So, of course, there are expectations, but there is no insistence on fulfillment of the expectation, because we know that this expectation is fulfilled only if the other person has the competence. So, one is not hurt by the lack of fulfillment of these feelings, right, and one is responsible towards helping the other to develop that competence.